everyone, so I'm back again and I have help in the kitchen, and today I'm going to be cooking today is chicken, potatoes and carrots for my daughter, and the recipe can actually be found at 411-baby.com, and I'll post the link up on the sidebar. And you can basically, I've substituted that, it actually suggests you serve this meal with rice. Now I've substituted it with potatoes because rice is not a fan of my daughter's. So, the benefits, just before I start, I wanted to show you the benefits of cooking. There's many ways to cook baby food, and that's kind of the joy of cooking your own baby's food. It's actually cheap, and you know what's in it, and you're cooking it the way that you think or is most healthy for your family. And there's no wrong way to cook it. And so my family, we like to steam, and steaming has been known as to be healthier. So instead of going to Sears or buying the big expensive steamers, you can simply just buy one of these. I think it's like $5, maybe even 10, but no more. And it just is a collapsible steamer basket. And so basically what you do is you take a pot of your size and you just put it in, and then you just add your water. We're using bitter water, and you just pour your water in, and you just want to make sure that the water does not go through the holes. I cut my potatoes and washed my potatoes and my carrots and my chicken. Yeah, now this was skin, and I just took the skin off the chicken, and I've added onions and garlic, which, because she's 9 months, it's okay. Now with the carrots, you want to be careful because carrots can give nitrate produce a nitrate in the food, so it's best not to use the water that you're cooking in. So we'll use other stuff to cook it in. So looking at it, I'm thinking I'm not going to have enough room for everything. So my carrots are now soft enough for my baby's consistency. So I will turn the temperature off, and I will drain the water. Now if it was any other vegetable, I would have just kept the water, but because of the nitrates, I wanted to drain the water. And I'll just set these carrots like aside, and I will add fresh water. Now you may be thinking that this meal takes like an awfully lot of work and time to do, but it doesn't if you consider that the work I'm putting into this meal. She'll have a meal for about a week. I think this will be like a supper for a week, supper, lunch. So the chicken is done, and while the chicken was done, I had taken out my potatoes because they were becoming mushy. And with the chicken, what you want to make sure, because it is chicken, you want to make sure that it's completely done. I don't know, I'm not good at meat cooking, but I don't think you can be overcooked chicken. It's just going to get really soft, which is fine because it's going to be for baby food. So we will shut the oven off, come over here. See, look, that is a perfect chicken when the bone just falls right out. I'm just going to set this over here. Okay, so as you'll notice, I've cut up my carrots and I've cut up my potatoes, and I will as well cut up my my chicken. Sorry guys. And one of the benefits of actually cooking your own food is that when you're cooking your own food and doing your own baby food, you can actually really get to see what your baby likes and what your baby doesn't like, as well as, because it's like finger food, you can start making it more chewy, lumpy, so that babies are learning how to chew quicker. Therefore, as moms or dads, we can eat our own meal without having to worry about, without having to feed the baby and all of that. So what I'm going to actually do is, I really want my daughter to know that these are carrots, these are potatoes, and this is meat. So I'm going to do two things. I'm going to make containers that actually mix a few of my containers are going to mix all 3 ingredients together, and the other containers won't, and I'll serve it still as a meal, but it'll be completely separate. Okay, another thing that this does is helps with it even follows kind of the concept when you're feeding your own child this type of food, especially when they get like older. It's kind of part of that whole baby self-winning process, which you can find information on the website. And so this will you can learn more about baby weaning, which is quite an interesting concept. And it's basically the same concept, is that your daughter or your son gets to choose when they want to eat, how they want to eat, so it helps establish healthy eating habits. So in our house, I don't make my daughter eat a certain amount of food. I don't put her on a schedule. I figure she'll eat when she's hungry. You know, she hasn't created herself a schedule that involves like having chicken at 2 a.m. So there's no need for me to intervene. And she gets the 3 meals, she gets snacks, but I don't push it because I want her to have a healthy appetite and a healthy eating habits, and that starts at this age. It's better to start it at this age than to create bad habits or habits you want to change when they're older. So as you see, I'm just cutting my meat really fine, and it's going to be based on your baby's food, and what your baby's used to eating. Same with the carrots. Now, if you wanted the carrots to be smooth, you just dump them into the blender. And when I had made carrots before, I'd used to just use breast milk to water them down, or you can just use water, but just make sure you don't use the water that they've been boiled in. And same here, if I'm going to mix up some of this meat. Okay, so I just wanted to show you what one looks like. So what I've done is kind of like miniature meals, which are really good if you're going for daycare or whatever, and you can still divide it because it's not all mixed up. So I've done a layer of chicken, a layer of carrots, and a layer of potatoes. And what I've added about 1 tablespoon, so about this size, maybe 1 to 2 tablespoons of just the water and the juices that have come from the chicken and the potatoes and this like onion and garlic. And then what I'll do is I'll stick it into the freezer, and once it's frozen, so that'll be till tomorrow, then I'll just dip it in like warm water, and I'll pop it out and put it into a big freezer Ziploc bag. Something maybe not quite this big, but something like this, and I'll just write the date and what the food is inside. And then you have a choice of, you can heat it up in the microwave, or you can dump it into a glass jar and put it into boiling water if you don't want to use the microwave. I just wanted to add something. If you guys have your recipes and you want to add them to the website 411-baby.com, feel free, post a video. Post a video response under any of these. Send me a comment, send me an email. If you don't have to do a video, if you just have a recipe that your baby likes, just send a message and we will post it on the website. And all these recipes are on the website, as well as lots of different ideas to get your baby to eat, and articles done by mom.